In this screencast today, we are going to look at some of the great features in Google Docs, something that, that things that every teacher could use in their classroom or every person. So first, I want to start with just kind of working our way across over here. And I want you to notice this is like a standard toolbar, and it works in much the same way as you would in using Microsoft Word. Now, what Google has done is they've added some extra features that I think you'll find handy. So look, we're going to go down kind of a list, I guess you could say, and we're going to look at some of the features, and this is specifically kind of tailored towards a professional development where these are the features I'm highlighting. So first, we're going to look at our file menu. I want you to notice there are certain things, and of course you can share, and that's the same as this. Down the list, you can make a copy. Now we're going to make a copy of this document, and I want you to notice what happens when we do this. When I click make a copy, it's going to ask me if I want to keep it in the same folder that I already have it in. It's going to give me the option to copy, or name it anything I want, but it will default to copy of whatever the name of the document was. And I have the option to share it with the same people. So if this folder were shared, I can also share with this too. I'm not going to go ahead and make a copy, but I'm just showing you what would happen if we did make a copy. Technically, I am making a copy. So now, here's document 1, and here's document 2. Same thing, and the difference is this document, it is currently private. If I were to share it with someone else, in the case of this, if I had already shared it with everyone that was viewing this document, the new copy would be mine and mine only, and no one else would have that option unless I went and shared it personally. Okay, so now we're going to go back, and we're going to look at revision history. I appreciate this one because what it does is it allows you to see all the different edits that have been made. Now, there's only been one edit, but if there were multiple edits, you would see them all listed over here, and it would show you, because this is the original, and you notice I can go back to this version, or I can keep it here. Revision history is a very handy tool. Also, sometimes you're uploading a document, you've worked on it in Google, but you're going to be uploading it to a program that does not accept Google. So you might be able to download it, and here are some of your options: Microsoft Word, rich text formats, or PDF. And those are some very common documents that you might use to upload to send to someone else. And I also want to show you in this the page setup. And let's go down, let me see here, let me expand this page so you can see this. Page setup, and this is just where you would set up your margins and you would set up your landscape or portrait. You can also, if you wanted to, change the background color of your document. I don't know if we needed to do that, but you have that option. I'm going to go back and change that. Chances are we really don't need it to be that bright yellow color. Okay, so next we're going to look at, and yes, I do know that there's edit and view, but those are pretty standard. I want you to look at what is in the under insert. Now there's a lot of different things in insert, but the ones I'm really interested in are here, and then down here, the header. So we're going to start with insert an image, and I'm going to scroll down a little bit just so we can find a place to do that. Go here and insert image. Notice your different options. So if you have a webcam, you can do the take a snapshot, upload, use the URL that you would get from Google, search your albums, your Google Drive, or here. And we're just going to look at cats. This guy looks pretty friendly. We're just going to insert. So Google had the option, gave us the option to look at some of their images, and these are copyright friendly images, I think is a good way to say it. Back to insert, I can also link. So if I wanted to, I could put cats. Now notice what happens when I put this, oops, let's do this. If I were to highlight a word up here, say I want to highlight Google Calendar, and then I want to insert a link, notice what Google does. It gives me the option to insert this or to type whatever I want. So I'm going, I could drop the URL here. I'm just going to go ahead and link it to this. So now, if I were to click on this, it would take me straight to the Google Calendar. The drawing, Google Drawings, there are lots. What will happen here is it will let you create a Google drawing right inside the document. That is where you would be able to add things such as, what's the word I'm looking for, word art. And this last one here, charts. I really love this one because I want you to notice, yes, I can do a chart, I can make one myself, or notice I have the option to get in a chart from Google Sheets. So if you have already made a Google Sheet that has a chart or graph in it, you can pull that in straight into your document. The other feature I want you to see is adding a page number to a page and your header. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to insert a header, and I'm just going to go out here and write justify it, put Dawson. Now I want to add a page number. So if I were to go down here and insert page number, notice that it's going to, over here, it's going to say, do you want it to be on the right hand corner or bottom? Maybe not on the first page, not on the first page, or right up there in the right hand upper corner. If I were to do this, if I were to scroll down and go to another page, so now you notice my header just continues on. Now, this is where Google gets interesting. We're going to go here to the Tools menu, and in Tools, we're going to start with a research. Notice what it does. It opens up a research window over here, side by side. So if I were to go here, I have the option to search anything for images, Scholar, which is Google Scholar, quotes, dictionary. That's the same way I would use for the definition. So there is one that's for define, but here I can go and find cats. Okay, so I might like this website, and notice what it'll do. It'll let me insert the link right there. The other thing is, if let me scroll back up, I also can, but when I did that, notice what it did. It gave me a little one there, and if I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a footnote. So it's not so at least it's not something that someone just took. They at least documented where they got it from. I also have the option to activate voice typing in Google. And so I'm going to go here to Tools. We're going to go to Voice Type. Click. Hello. Today we are going to work on voice typing. Unclick it, and you see what it did. Now, I could have said hello, comma, today we're going to work on voice typing. That can be a very good differentiation tool. And lastly, I want you to see this, translate the document, because we can take this, and just like we made a copy earlier, now we can translate. We choose our language. The most common language that we're going to probably translate to would be Spanish. So I'm just going to go here, translate. Notice that it's translating this, but it's opening a new one, and here it is. Now the nice thing is that I did not lose my original. If I go back up, you'll see that it's still in English, and this may not be perfect, but it's probably better than having nothing. For our parents who may have English may not be the language they speak at home. So we're going to move on to our add-ons. Add-ons is a window that allows you to kind of insert documents within Google. So I have a lot of add-ons here. There's only one really that I want to highlight, and that's this one. But as we're doing this, I first want to show you something that's pretty interesting. Is how you get to the add-ons. So you go and search out add-ons. If you scroll to the bottom, let me scroll down here. My window is kind of in the way here. Okay, let me see. It's hard to see it, but right here, I'm trying to get this to allow us to look. try this one more time. Sorry about that. Right here, you're going to see, and you'll just have to scroll and see it, but it'll say Get Add-ons. So it's going to take you here, and then here you can search out just about anything, and there are a ton. Don't get bogged down with adding add-ons, but just see if there's any that are useful. This EasyBib is very useful. Table contents. I really like one. It's called Lesson Plan for Google Docs or Lesson Planner. So I'm going to show you how that one works. I'm going to go back up to my add-ons. I'm going to go here to Lesson Plan Tool for Docs and start. And then over here, I can start looking for items. I can go standard based, maybe a Common Core Language Arts. And then I'm going to go here and I'm just going to use, since we're on the theme with cats, and here's a poem, has a video. I'm just going to use it. I would recommend that you vet it first, but we're going to go ahead and you notice what happens. It just added it right into my document. This is a great way to help build lessons. So these are just some of the features that we highlight today in Google, and I hope that these are handy. There's so much more that Google can do, but this will really kind of get you started and show you how to do things.